ज्ञानाञ्जना चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतशे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So we have to begin with the 11th chapter, and uh, actually there is a you might have heard many stories about each of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. There's a book compiled by one of the Prabhupada disciples. It's a book, translated into actually Gita Mahatmya, in which each chapter glories, is sung. Sung in the sense that it is sung in a previous time. It's been written down in that Gita Mahatmya. Shankaracharya wrote Gita Mahatmya. So we quote many shlokas. Prabhupada quoted introduction of Bhagavad Gita itself, Gita Mahatmya. This is also Eko Devaki Devaki, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Eka Karmani Tasya Devasya Seva. These shlokas are from Gita Mahatmya itself. So, over here, the actually it's the narration between Lord Shiva and Parvati, which is happening, which is a book called Gita Mahatmya. So you can read it in a Vedavis folio. It is there before every chapter. You will see there's a tag written, at the beginning of the chapter, Gita Mahatmya. So I'll show you the Gita Mahatmya of the 11th chapter. And it's a good story. I didn't show many of them because majority of the stories does not very clearly, represent a very, an inspiration for pure devotional service. So I was not so much interested into it. But I'll show you this one. That is quite good.
So,
So we'll read this story before we begin the 11th chapter. So this is, the glories of chapter 11. Lord Shiva is saying, My dear Parvati, now I'll relate to you the glories of the 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible to tell its full glories, as there are thousands of stories. I relate one of them only. So this means one of them stories have been said. There are many stories behind this, behind the glories of the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll tell you what the story is. So need not read it; it will become too long for us. So once upon a time, it's been said there was one there was one actually Brahmana, on a bank of, and he used to reside on the bank of Pranita River in a town known as Megankara, which is very famous, in which there was a very famous temple of Jagatishwara. So this and the deity of the Jagatishwara is actually holding a bow, is holding a bow in his hand and he's standing. So in this town of Megankara, the Brahmana was staying he was a very pure Brahmana. So his name was Sunanda, and he was a brahmachari in his whole life. He was celebrate throughout the life. So once upon a time, what happened? Sunanda, would he would what he would do? He would go in front of the temple in front of a deity in a temple of Jagadishwara and recite the 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita every day, and he would remember the universal form of the Lord. So he was a great Brahmana. So he would do it very ritually, very nicely, with the meaning, understanding the meaning of the verses also. So by reciting this 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day, he has been said he gained complete control over his senses and was able to remember Lord Jagatishwara continuously by the blessings of the Lord. Because it's been said that the glories of repeating or reciting Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam is actually nothing but glorifying the Lord. Somebody does this consistently, with heartful appreciation for it, why not the Lord will be happy with him? So he blessed him to have control over his senses and he blessed him with his remembrance. So this pure Brahmana one day he went to a holy pilgrimage. He was going to the holy pilgrimage on the banks of the Godavari river, and he started visiting various places on the banks of the Godavari river, beginning from Virajatirtha. There's something place called as. So wherever he was going, there was nothing like, we go to Yatra, that we have a fixed place of staying, prasadam. That is never actually called as a very much of a holy pilgrimage. So, holy pilgrimage means actually ideally what is ideally, is this that you depend on the Lord. You know. You depend on the Lord, and that's how you move ahead. So this Brahmana was also depending on the Lord only. So wherever he would go, he would go to holy places, bathe over there, take darshan of the presiding deity. And if it would be in evening, he would, stay in some temple like that and order some prasadam in the house of some either Brahmana or something like that, or in a temple itself, whatever he would get. No? So one day, while moving around like that, he reached the holy town known as he reached the town of one town called as Vivah Mandap. Vivah Mandap. No, Vivah nahi, Vivah Mandap. So he was also having some of his associates, his friends and followers with him. So they could figure out they were trying to figure out where to stay. So eventually they saw one in the middle of the town of this Vivah Mandap. They found a dharamshala, and they thought, okay, we'll rest over here only for the night. So they rested over there in the night, and the next day morning when Sunanda woke up, he didn't find any one of his associates, any one of his friends. They all were gone. There was no trace of them. So he searched them, but actually could not get them. So while he was searching them, for them, he met one man of that. He met the man, and he was the man was like a panchayat, like he was a head man of the town. And this man actually, this head man of the town, the means the panchayat. You understand panch. What do you say? What do you say? The man in villages, he's the top man called as
Sarpanch.
Sarpanch function. So he was like a Sarpanch. And that Sarpanch, as soon as he saw this Sunanda, he immediately fell at his feet and started saying, "See, oh great sage, you are a very great sage. I know, I know, I know, I know. I don't know where your associates have gone, but I can tell you that there is nobody greater than you. You are very great devotee. I have never seen anyone very pure like you. So I beg you that you stay in my town, in my village for some time." So hearing his humble request, this Sunanda Brahman actually stayed for a few days over there. So while staying over there, he was this Sarpanch has created, has given him a good, comfortable accommodation, and prasadam was arranged for him, and he was, and in the daytime, who would talk to the villagers, do Krishna, do Katha of the Lord, and like that. But after some days, while he was staying in this village, one man came to him. One villager came to him and said, Sunanda, he was crying very loudly and said that please, last night, please save me. One of my child who, last night what happened? One Rakshasa ate him. So, no, Sunanda was amazed that Rakshasa ate you in the middle of the village, your son. How is it so? Where that Rakshasa stay? And how did he ate your son? So in the village, that villager, replied, he replied that, see, in this town, once upon a time, very one great Rakshasa used to come in this village. And every day he was eating villagers. Whenever he would come and he would eat. So one day we all went to that Rakshasa and requested him that you don't do like this. You don't eat us up. So we will no. In return, we would provide him daily food. You would have heard in Mahabharata also this kind of thing happen. So then, for the Rakshasa's sake, they created this one dharamshala was built, and they said that any traveler that would come and stay over here in this dharamshala, you can eat them while they are sleeping. So you would understood the this was the same dharamshala in which Sunanda's all his associates and he has also slept. He understood what has happened. That Rakshasa came and ate all his associates. So, but he wanted to hear from that villager how his son was died. Now, how his son was, killed by eaten by Rakshasa. So he said, what happened? That man started saying that last night, what has happened? My son's friend has come, uh, but I didn't paid much attention. That I didn't paid much attention that how much close is he to my son. I sent that friend of my son to stay in that dharamshala. So, and later on, my son didn't knew what is the, you know, what is the mystery behind the dharamshala. So later on, my son, he also, I didn't knew, but he also went out and he went back. He went to the dharamshala only to be with his friend. What happened then next, you understand? That Rakshasa came, ate the friend, ate my son also. So now then today I went to the Rakshasa's place and asked him, why did you hate my son? The Rakshasa said, I didn't know one of them was your son. There was nothing written that he was your son. So I ate it. I don't know, whatever number of people stay in the night in Dharamshala, I ate them in the night. So I ate him. So then this this villager asked that Rakshasa, see, they are typical Puranic stories, huh? So don't get, don't get bewildered how somebody can go and talk to Rakshasa and Rakshasa didn't eat him. So, so this man villager asked this Rakshasa how I can get back my son. He said that, there is no way. Only way is this that there is one Brahman who's staying in your town. who had also stayed in Dharamshala, but I had not eaten him because he daily recites the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And if he daily recites this 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and while reciting that 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if he, 7 times if he recites Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and sprinkles water on me, then I'll get free from the curse of the Rakshasa's body. And even all the people whom I have eaten also will be liberated. No. So then, and then Sunanda inquired that from the villager, what sin actually this Rakshasa has done that actually he has become a Rakshasa like that. He has become like that. So then villager told a story that once upon a time there was a farmer living in this town itself. And one day he was guarding the fields, his own field, and he just saw a distance far away from him, a bit far away from him, there was one man who was attacked by a vulture who was traveling on the road. And that time one yogi was also passing by. When he saw that person being attacked by the vulture, the yogi came running, to save that child, to save that man. But no, it was too late because that yogi saw him from very far distance being attacked by the vulture. So yogi became very angry at this farmer because he was very near to this person who was attacked by the vulture, but he didn't save him. So the yogi became very unhappy with it. And he said, what kind of person you are? Somebody is in danger, is near to you, and you can't save him. And you are capable of saving. You're not like a handicapped man. So, so that, that yogi said, I'll curse you. So then as soon as he heard that word curse, that man said, the farmer said, no, no, sir, what to do? I have been awake whole night, so I was very tired. So I could not, go and save him. The yogi said, nothing doing. I'll give you a curse. And what the curse was given? The curse was given that you will become a Rakshasa. So he became a Rakshasa. And then this farmer pleaded this yogi back again and again. So so typically this yogi said, okay, you will be delivered from the Rakshasa body if somebody who is reciting 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita sprinkle water on your head. So then you will be liberated. So this story was told to Sunanda by this villager. So that Rakshasa immediately, so then the same thing happened. Sunanda recited 7 times Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and then he went to that place, to the same place, where this Rakshasa was staying. He went over there and recited 7 times the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita entire, and he sprinkled water on the head of the Rakshasa. Immediately, immediately it's been said, Rakshasa attained a four-armed form like that of Lord Vishnu, and not only he, but all the thousands of persons that he had eaten, all attained a four-armed form like that of Lord Vishnu. And they all sat down in a Vaikuntha aeroplane, and then they all were, going to Vaikuntha. They all went to, and it was seen by everyone. Seeing this, but this, if you remember, this villager had come actually requesting Sunanda. So villager inquired from that Rakshasa who was also going, hey, where is my son? Rakshasa started to laugh and said, see, and he pointed out to one of the fellows, and who was also have got four-armed form and was sitting on the transcendental airplane. They said, this is your son. So villager then requested his son, oh son, be here. The son said, hey, my dear sir, many times you have been my son, and I have become your son. But now, by the grace of this great pure devotee Sunanda, I have been released from the cycle of birth and death. And I am going to my real home, Vaikuntha Dham, Tata. What you also do, you also surrender to the lotus feet of this Sunanda and hear from him Bhagavad Gita and all and scriptures like that, and you will also attain the abode of Lord Vishnu. So, so this no, so this is this. So this entire story was actually said by Lord Shiva to Parvati. So that's been said that actually anyone, if he hears the nectarian instructions which came from the mouth of Krishna, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he will, no, it's been said he can break the tight knot which is binding us in the wheel of samsara. So Lord Shiva told us a story, and then he started telling ahead probably the Bhagavad Gita to Mother Parvati. So this is the glories of this particular chapter that we're going to read. And actually, like that, there are many, there are glories of each chapter being spoken in this Gita Mahatmya book, which you can find in. You can also find in the hardbound in the gift stall, or maybe you can read it over here in your folio. So this is Gita Mahatmya, and we surely actually it is it it because it's been said over here. I told this story just because over here has been recited, and the glories has been spoken in a way that the person went back home, back to God. There are many such stories where, like Ekadashi, typical story you hear. The Ekadashi stories, majority seems to be Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha story kind of a thing. But over here, the story is very good. It's very good to glorifying. So I told you, it may help you or inspire you to recite Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, wherever you are. Wherever you are, if you recite these shlokas, no matter how much, bad environment may be, how much tempted or distracted your mind may be, but if you recite the shlokas and read the meaning, just do that. You can be uplifted in your consciousness for sure. That's truth. This is the power of scripture. Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. But the problem is this, that majority of the time when people are distracted, they're haunted by their lower desires. They don't access it. Because when the good time is there, when the mind is not so distracted, we don't make a habit actually of reading it by our own and getting a taste in it. So for sure, it is like an army man. While the good time is there, while the war is not going on, he never practiced, fighting, using the gun, shooting the gun, keeping the gun with him, and walking with it, and understanding how it works. Now, when the war has happened, war has started. Now he's figuring out where is it. Then it will be very tough. He can't. He can't help. He can't actually then learn, how to shoot, how to handle the gun, how to clean the gun. He won't be. So same way for us. If we in our good times actually, develop a habit of reading the scriptures, Bhakti scriptures, and relishing it, then actually, at the wrong when illusion will surmount us, we'll be able to take shelter of these scriptures also, and we'll come out of it for sure. So by this, let us begin in our main thing, the reading of discussing the shlokas of 11th chapter. So this is the first verse of the 11th chapter. The first verse is spoken by Arjuna. Arjuna is beginning, this verse, this chapter. Arjuna Vacha Mad Anugrahaya Paramam Guhyam Adhyatma Samgyatam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vikato Mama.
Arjuna said, "By my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled." Purport. This chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is even the cause of the Mahavishnu, from whom the material universes emanate. Krishna is not an incarnation, he is the source of all incarnations. That has been completely explained in the last chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as the source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and is glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So, in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna in this chapter to show his universal form. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened like Arjun. But Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. Arjuna agrees to what Krishna has several times said. Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit. So Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. He is now convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as Supersoul.
Yes. So over here it is very clear. Arjuna is very clearly, making it a statement that, my dear sir, now moho I am vigato mama. My illusion has been removed. Now, because before he is making a request, he is clarifying it. In the beginning of the chapter itself, sir, my illusion that no, you to be considering you to be a normal man is vanquished, is finished. Uh, no, you have kindly, because of you, mat anugrahaya parama. You have, because, and you have given, because just to show me a great favor, you have shown a great favor to me, paramam anugraha, you have shown to me by giving the most confidential, guhyam adhyatma samgatam. You have spoken to me the most confidential subject matter regarding to spiritual matter, in the spiritual sense, or you have given me the most confidential spiritual knowledge. Because of this is the anugrah of the Lord, my dear. No. Many times we have many under other understanding of anugrah, but by Arjuna we can understand very clearly. This is the anugrah of the Lord. Uh, so we are many times, we considered many things to be anugrah. If somebody, helps us, materially, naturally we feel, we start feeling too much of obligations to him. We may not feel that kind of obligation towards our guru, towards our great people who are helping us to come out of an illusion. We may not have, you know, because we still maybe dwelling, somebody who's still dwelling on a material platform itself, he can't appreciate this kind of anugraha, you know. So, but Arjuna is appreciating it and is clarifying it that guhyam adhyatma samgatam yat tvayoktam vachastena, oh Lord, by you, by your words which you have told, vachastena, you have spoken what has happened. Oh, moho yam vigato mama. My illusion has been removed. Very thank you very much for me for doing that. So actually, many times miracle are considered to be as as a basis of faith. No, but over here, we are, as I explained to you those words, see, for him, anugrah is what? Anugrah is his removal of, all his illusion. And that is giving him faith. Now, after gaining faith, he is going to ask in the 11th chapter, show me your universal form. So, one has to understand that miracles may supplement faith, but actually, miracle should not be the basis of one's faith. You know, the faith has to be supplement by philosophy, not by miracles. Mundane miracles. I can give you a number of examples. Sorry, one example I would give you. See, there was one very famous saint in Christianity. You all know him. very well. Because on his name, there are many prominent colleges in India, and they are very, very, great colleges. This saint is called as Saint Xavier's, right? You know Saint Xavier's?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
So many colleges are very famous on his name, Saint Xavier's. So his full name is Saint Francis Saint Xavier. He is different from Saint Francis of Assisi, which you might have, some of you might have heard in Radhanath Maharaj classes while he speak about this Saint Francis of Assisi. Saint Francis of Assisi was a very good man. Uh, but this Saint Francis of Xavier, actually, miracle what he was shown by him when he died. You know, when he died and his body was put into the tomb, and after 2 or 3 months, they excavated the tomb to get his bones so that his bones can be relocated because he died in China. You know, so they wanted to relocate his body, his bones, so that sometimes what we have conception of samadhi, they can be something like that. A memento can be made for him. But when they digged out the body, and after 2 3 months, his body was as it is, as if that it is just today has been put beneath the ground. So this is impossible. 2 3 months, 3 months, and with all decomposition material was put, like we have seen samadhi of some great saints, great Vaishnavas happening in our movement. So salt is put, many things, lime is put, so that the body, the flesh decays away, and that's how it has to be like. No, many insect swarms would bite the body. It's not so good. So they do it. So it all was put in that grave for this Saint Francis of Xavier. But 2 months has been said, or 3 months, his body didn't decayed a bit. That was a great miracle, right or wrong? Huh? Right? Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But if you know his story, his history, you will never say him to be a saint because he was a major man who actually, who was the main person behind the execution of the all people in Goa. Because he came from America, he came from somewhere, not America, somewhere, France or somewhere, to convert people. So he converted entire Goa. Now, this is not conversion. I'm not saying against conversion and all. He wrote a letter to the king of the Portuguese, who's ruling the Goa at that time. In his letter, he has said that all those, he created a massacre. He has written in that letter that all those fellows actually who have converted to Christianity, they were Hindus, they were, all those people actually, Hindu, Muslims and all, but hidingly they were figuring out that they were doing their own faith also because they had changed them by force. So what he told, execute them, kill them. No, no, that's what has been said. So no, so he and not and how they would kill them. He would his way. Because of inquisitions he would do. They would call it inquisitions. So he would his so they would burn the houses with the people alive inside. And not just this much. Actually, he wrote a letter like that to the no he passed away after writing the letter, but he wrote the letter to the king of the Goa, the Portuguese. And did like that many places like that. Because of that letter which was sent to the Portuguese king, he became very atrocious. You know, and he considered that is like our command of the Lord itself, because it was coming from their saint. So uh, that's what has been said. So he did can you think about it? And not just people, that who were, who had changed and they were not following. He did temple destructions, mosque destructions. destructions of the idols. And he in fact even said that he used to have a joy seeing happening it. You know. So this is in fact in fact no in one of the places in the Goa there's a Hat Katro Khamb, a long pillar in there's an old Goa which remains a symbol of the era when thousands of people thousands of people who were Hindus had their hands cut off because they refuse conversion. See, I'm not over here making a propaganda about religion. I'm not speaking against Christianity in these terms, conversion and all. That's not my point. But think about, do you think any saint can have this kind of a quality? We hear saintly qualities at what Vidya, we say here about, there's a famous Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Kavya Kavi Hastane Suniche Sobhakecha Pandita Samadarshina. Are you even have a problem? How you can do like that? It requires a very atrocious nature, right? No? Or a great ignorance. Anyhow, so now I told you the miracle that was shown, right? No? And he was a great missionary. This this Saint Francis of Xavier's. It's a great missionary. His guru was Loyola. You might have heard this, schools, Loyola school. So they are saints. No? So because that Loyola has told has taught this Xavier's very good. He has taught nice things. He has told a very beautiful line. He has told um, about what will you gain if your soul is sold out, something like that. Yes, he has said like that. What will you gain in this world if the soul is lost to you from you? Like what we say, Atmaha. To that kind of he has got, so he became a great missionary. You know. In fact, in his while dying, he has been said this Saint Francis of Xavier has said, "Oh Lord, have I hoped that let me never be confounded." You know. But but his behavior, you see. So actually, we have to. So anyhow, this all are. I heard, these are some stories in when I was in Goa, there was a because Goa was liberated in 1960, got freedom in 1961, or India got in 1947, right? Na? But Goa got later on because Portuguese was still ruling. So they have a different freedom day, and anyhow, so and this Saint Francis of Xavier, actually he wanted to convert entire China also. So while entering China, he got ill and he died. So his body, after 2 months, was as it is, as I said to you, was brought to Goa itself because his main station was Goa. He did a major problem in Goa, like in our terms. And there's a very, very famous tomb of his they have created in the old Goa. Big, very big tomb. When I saw, I didn't knew what is this. Then then later said me that this is a tomb of Saint Francis of Xavier's. So I was thinking, okay, maybe a great man. But later on, they told me that this Basilica of Bomb Jesus, they said that tomb to be huge, huge, very huge. And I was amazed. So many people every day in a daytime visit that place. All fools Indians. They still go. No, Jane preserves him, but they don't know anything. They treat him because miracle is shown. Some others, chamatkar ko salam hai. So over here, no, now come back where we have been talking about the 11th chapter, first shloka. So miracles, Krishna here, he's not saying, see, illusion, basis of faith should not be miracle. You know, basis of faith of Arjuna is the Adhyatma Gyan which he has received from the Lord. And for those people, miracles and some miracles may supplement after knowing, like we know who is Prabhupada, we have understood by understanding the philosophy properly. And then some miracles that we may hear, about Prabhupada that adds to the faith on Prabhupada for us. That's fine. But miracle alone can't be. But in today's world, somebody shows miracle. Typically miracle, can you think about it? If this Saint Francis of Xavier would have chanted Radha Radha name, how many people would have chanted? Because he was dying. After dying, he has shown such a thing. Uh, and the most prominent miracle which has been spoken by all the fellows in this faith is the Jesus who died. He rose. We know we have all glories to Jesus because he was a great man, a great devotee. But he rose from the death is the main thing over there. Not much philosophy. So, but we have to know it very clearly that Arjun's faith is based on the Adhyatma Gyan which he has received. Uh, his faith is not going to be based on the universal form which the Lord will show him. His faith is based on. That's why Prabhupada is writing, na. He is not asking for himself. He writes in the purport, na, first chapter. Right now, which we read. He is not asking. Going to ask Arjuna, Krishna, that show your universal form. Because still, Yumna is saying, but I don't know. Let me see it, then I'll believe. This seeing and believing is for a materialistic people. You know, for those who are refined and spiritual and elevated, for them the faith is based on scripture by hearing. So and lower if you go down, then people believe on what they see, and what they say is miracle, then they believe. So it's a lower consciousness actually, but over here Arjuna is very clearly saying. So Arjuna is not asking Krishna going to ask Krishna to show the universal form because he has some doubt because he is thinking about the people like us. No? So he's saying man anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samgatam yatvayokto vachastena moho ayam vivato mama. So this is my illusion has now been dispelled, my dear Lord. Thank you for it. And what is that illusion? That you are not a normal human man. You are a divine. You are the supreme personality of Godhead. Although walking with me, talking to me like a friend, sleeping together, dining together, you are in the bed, you are become my chariot driver, but you're not a normal man. And by the way, Arjun was clear before also, but he is reconfirming it over here. So this is about, this is very important for us to understand it. And then this supreme truth that Arjuna is saying that good you have shown me, my dear Lord. By your mercy I have the secret is known to me. Hearing your words, my doubt is freed away. But please understand, uh, illusion, actually illumination of the knowledge surely removes illusion. But actually illumination of the knowledge, illuminating heart, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito, actually how it removes illusion permanently because illumination should help, or we should use the illumination as a knowledge in making constant choices. If we are not actually using the knowledge in making constant choices, illusion will never be dismantled. So no, so illumination means we say in a dark room you switch on the light, illusion goes away, the darkness goes away. But that switching of the light means over here actually making choices based on the knowledge that we are receiving. If we are not going to make choices like that, illusion will get illusion again and again. So one who is actually illuminated completely, for him illusion is dispelled but for us, because we are in gradual progression of getting illuminated. We have to make constant choices. You know, we have to make constant choices based on the illumination that we are receiving. If not, it will be very tough for us. So, so over here, actually, we can make a prayer to the Lord. My dear Lord, let me, please illuminate me by your knowledge and give me the strength to make the correct choices based on that illumination. So if that is not, then actually it is not so helpful. It's going to be a tough time for us. So that's what's been said. So over here, he is saying my illusion has been dispelled. Actually, illusion has been dispelled for sure for him. Uh, because and why we accept that his illusion is being dispelled, because at the end of the war, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he is going to say, my dear Lord, I do as you say. So he made a choice. Right? If Arjuna would have not made this choice, and although he would have spoken this first verse of 11th chapter, sorry, my illusion dispelled, is just of no use. Right? So, so understand it that even a crude an example I can give you. Arjun over here has understood Bhagavad Gita, but later on his son Abhimanyu will die. He will get into anger, and in anger, without consulting the Lord, also he will make a vow. So over there also he has got illusion. You know, so it was too much of anguish and too much of anger. So please understand. That's why I'm saying to you, illusion illumination should be used to make moment to moment choices. Then finally, at one stage, a person when he becomes completely pure, for him, now illusion will be forever gone. But because one has to learn it to make choices based on the illumination that I am getting, the knowledge which I am getting. So then, okay. Any questions, bro? Before I go to the second verse. Okay. You don't have a question, then let's move to the second verse. भवापयो हि भूतानां श्रुतो विस्तारसो मया त्वत्तः कमलपत्राक्ष महात्मयम् अपि चाव्ययम्. पढ़िए.
Translation: O Lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible knowledge. Purport: Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as lotus-eyed. Krishna's eyes appear just like the petals of lotus flower. Out of his joy, Lord Krishna has assured him in the previous chapter, Aham Krishnati Jagata Prabhavaha Pralasthitaha. I am the source of the appearance and disappearance of this entire material manifestation. Arjuna has heard of this from the Lord in detail. Arjuna further knows that in spite of his being the source of all appearance and disappearance, he is aloof from them. As the Lord has said in the ninth chapter, he is all pervading, yet he is not personally present everywhere. That is inconceivable opulence of Krishna, which Arjuna admits that he has thoroughly understood.
So which shloka, the ninth chapter, has been spoken over here? In the purport Prabhupada is referring to that he is above, that is creation and destruction. Hmm? Yeah, it's a test for you all. Very famous shloka. In the beginning of ninth chapter only it comes to. Mostly it is no, 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta gudena matstan sarvabhutani na chaham tesha avastitah. Uh, by me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not. But I am not in them. Matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshu avastitah. I am not situated in them. So this is what Arjuna is saying over here to Krishna. Actually, sir, no, you, oh lotus-eyed Lord, you're so beautiful. And you're why he's saying him lotus? Because his as the lotus is red, so the Lord's eyes are red because of intense love for his devotees. Same same eyes are also red because of anger on demons, and same eyes are red also because of because for the to show his love for his devotees. So he's saying towards Krishna and my dear Lord, oh lotus-eyed one, and he's saying over here, and you know that Kamala Patra Aksha, Tvattah Kamala Patra Aksha, Mahatmayam Api Chavyayam. So, no, your glories are, inexhaustible, Avyayam, right? So, he is saying that, no, after hearing from you, you know, directly in Vistaraha, no, now I have understood the creation and dissolution of all beings is caused by you only. Tattvataha, I have understood it. So I have understood that no bhava apyayo hi bhutana, appearance bhava and apyayo, the disappearance of every bhutas, the living entities, means the entire universe is caused by you only. I have understood this. How? You know, I have understood by hearing from you, Shruto, Vistaraso. In detail, I have heard from you. By, now I have understood it from you, Tattvataha. Now I have understood very nicely. So, no, he is thanking Krishna also. And I have heard it. I'm very happy. I understood. And I haven't heard you also. I have, I'm very clear that you don't undergo any change. You are Avyayam. You are controller of all. You do not associate with and become affected by these controlled entities. Maya tatam idam sarvam. So he is very clearly reconfirming his first statement, the first shloka that he has spoken, that my now illusions are dispelled. My illusion is dispelled, understanding that you are the supreme personality of Godhead, you are the creator, appearer, and a destroyer. No, you cause the appearance and destroy the destruction of every living being and all the universes, but you are not affected by it. You know. So he is very clearly saying that. The third shloka has been said over here now. He is saying, Evam etad yatha tah tvam atmanam parameshwara द्रष्टुम इच्छामि ते रूपम ऐश्वरम पुरुषोत्तम.
O great of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours.
So he is making a request now to show Krishna his universal form. After declaring that I have understood you, my illusions are dispelled, but still I want to see it. Purport.
The Lord said that because he entered into the material universe by his personal representation, the cosmic manifestation has been made possible and is going on. Now, as far as Arjun is concerned, he is inspired by he is inspired by the statement of Krishna, but in order to conceive others in the future who may think that Krishna is an ordinary person, Arjun desires to see him actually in his universal form, to see how he is acting from within the universe although he is apart from it. Arjuna's addressing the Lord as Purushottam is also significant. Since the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is present within Arjun himself. Therefore, he knows the desire of Arjuna. And he can understand that Arjuna has no special desire to see him in his universal form, for Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna. But the Lord can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince others. Arjuna did not have any personal desire for confirmation. Krishna also understands that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to set a criteria, for in the future there would be so many impostors who would pose themselves as incarnations of God. The people, therefore, should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show his universal form to confirm his claim to the people.
Yeah. So he is so he in the request that he is making, he is already stating the Lord to be as Purushottama. So Prabhupada explains the word Purushottama because he has made very clear by saying Purushottama. See, I know you to be Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so I don't have a special desire to see that form. Because the Lord will say, "Arey, you know me to be as Purushottama. Still you have a desire? No, sir. Probably I have told you my Vibhuti Yoga. You have heard it. But still you don't have faith, although you are saying it, that my faiths are, my doubts are destroyed, and I have, all my doubts are dispelled. I have a complete faith on you, but still you are asking me to see, not to show. But over here, that's why Arjuna is saying, Sir, you are Purushottama. I accept you. I don't have a very special, desire to see. Because, you know, for a devotee, who is a follower of Arjuna, or one who has faith like Arjuna, for him, actually, seeing is not important. No, for him, you know, what the scripture says is more important. That what we discussed few minutes before. So for him, it's very clear. See, I am completely satisfied to see your personal form. I am satisfied with your this two-handed form because it's the most beautiful form. Well, because for a devotee, his heart is connected to Krishna, not just head. For people whose only head is connected to Krishna, they need to see universal form to accept Krishna to be a supreme. Uh, but his heart is connected to Krishna. When the heart is connected to Krishna, means he has actually developed love for the Lord. Now, one who has a love for the two-handed form of the Lord, why he will ever like to see, like if somebody actually loves the person, you know, uh, if somebody loves his friend, he actually loves the friend. He has no much of a desire actually to see, how my friend functions as a commander in chief in the army. No, he knows it's not much of I know him. There's no because he relishes the sweet loving relationships with that person. He doesn't has to see it to believe that, oh, is he really a commander in chief or not? For him, more of a is that he is a friend of mine. He has a complete trust on that Lord. So he has no taste, no special desire to see his universal form. But he wants to see it because he wants to convince others. So that's a prime reason why he is asking. So then in the last in the last verse of the 10th chapter, in the last verse of the 10th chapter, Krishna has spoken, a very he has spoken about, how Vishthabhyam idam, if you remember, the last shloka of the 10th chapter. The shloka was saying that Atva bahunatena kim gyatena tavarjuna Vishthabhyam idam Krishnam ekam amsena stito jagat. So the Lord has said that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. So now taking that point, now Arjuna has placed this request in front of the Lord. That how come, sir? My single fragment of myself, while you are away from it, you maintain the entire universe. How is it so? Can you show me? But he is also using the word Purushottama because I know it for sure how you do it. I don't need any other proof of faith for putting faith in that. I already love you. There's no point. I know it. But for others, what? Because there will be many fellows who, while you are over here, there is one Pandrak who's claiming himself to be Krishna and you to be a duplicate Krishna. What will happen, God knows, when you will go away from this world. There are many fellows who will come, who will claim themselves to be God. So, just to prove it, do you please show me, you know, Atmanam Parameshwaraha Trishnamu Ikshami Te Rupam. That Rupam I want to see. By which you are saying that is that Vishthabhyam, Vishthabhyam, Ekam, Ek Amshena Stito Vishthabhyam Idam Krishna, Ekam Amshena Stito Jagat. By one single fragment. Now he is saying a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. The word single is very ekam amshena. One fragment of mind is sufficient. So he wants to know that's why he's putting a request now. Might the Lord show me that form? So naturally in these the 3-4 verses initially, four verses, the fourth one which we are going to read now is actually the request of Arjuna, or you say the first 3 verses is a confirmation about his faith. Because he has confirmed his faith in the 10th chapter itself when he spoke the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Right? Na? After Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, he confirmed his faith. Right or wrong? What is the first shloka he spoke after hearing Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita?
Param Brahma Param Dham.
Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. Yeah. So he has already accepted over there. But right now over here is back again saying it and reconfirming it before requesting Krishna to show his universal form. So now we'll read the fourth one. Yes. मनये से यदि तच्छाक्यं मया द्रष्टुम् इति प्रभो योगेश्वरो ततो मे त्वाम् दर्शय आत्मानम् अव्ययम्. This is a very, very good shloka. Yeah.
If you think that I'm if you think that I'm able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that I'm limited in yourself. Purport. It is said that one can neither see, hear, understand, nor pursue the Supreme Lord, Krishna, by the material senses. But if one is engaged in loving transcendental service to the Lord from the beginning, then one can see the Lord by revelation. Every living entity is only a spiritual spark. Therefore, it is not possible to see or to understand the Supreme Lord. Arjuna, as a devotee, does not depend on his speculative strength. Rather, he admits his limitations as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna's inestimable position. Arjuna could understand that for a living entity it is not possible to understand the unlimited infinite. If the infinite reveals himself, then it is possible to understand the nature of the infinite by the grace of the infinite. The word Yogeshwara is also very significant here because the Lord has inconceivable power. If he likes, he can reveal himself by his grace, although he is unlimited. Therefore, Arjuna plead for the inconceivable grace of Krishna. He does not give Krishna orders. Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself unless one surrenders fully in Krishna consciousness and engages in devotional service. Thus, it is not possible for a person who depends on the strength of their mental speculation to see Krishna.
Over here, actually, although he's placing a order, but it is more of a request. And what he is saying, sir, manye se yadi tak shakyam. If you think, uh, if you think I can drashtum, I am able to see it, my dear Prabhu, show me your Yogeshwara form, the Lord of all mystic power. No, darshayatum, no, atma, avyaya. You are avyayam. If you think I can behold, then show me your cosmic form. So, Prabhupada always says, Krishna, don't treat Krishna to be as an order supplier. You serve Krishna in a way. We are over here to serve Krishna, not to place one's order to Krishna. Show me, then I'll believe it. You show me first. You do this thing for me, then I'll surrender to you. That way is not the way of a devotee. A devotee, Prabhupada is so clearly is writing over here that the Lord, He will reveal by His own. And when He reveals, when He sees the proper disposition in the heart of a devotee. If one is challenging, then that's what has been said, na? That very famous Tatviti Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya. When the Lord sees, He is not submitting, He is not hearing with submissiveness. Although from my bona fide authority, the Lord does not allows the knowledge to sink within his heart. Because the knowledge about Krishna and Krishna is the same. He doesn't allow it to happen. It will never happen. So, in fact, somebody, one place I heard it. If somebody chants 64 rounds for 64 life, then also he can't attain Krishna. If he has not learned, to humbly submit oneself to Krishna and his representative, it is never going to happen. So, so because Krishna holds the right to reveal himself, and nobody can force him. So humbly, if somebody, see, pride leads us to demand and blame. One who is proud of himself, you will say him blaming other people and demanding so much. He will demand respect also. He will blame others also. But humility, if one who has, as with that person, begs and has patience and waits. Proud fellow doesn't have patience much. Because for him, proud fellow, what? Everything should happen now. He just knows demanding. And if demand is not fulfilled, he blames. Whereas a people who have humility in their heart, they beg. They beg Krishna and they wait. So this question typically, so many years have happened. I know. Actually, yeah, that may be springing from one's genuine concern also. But majority of the time, after practicing 2, 3, 4 years, people only start saying it. Some people 6 months only, 2 months only. They think Krishna should reveal. इतना मेहनत किया मैंने, नहीं कैसे रिवील करेंगे, छोड़ दे. That's pride. So Krishna does not get bound to anyone's pride, but he is bound to his devotee's humility. So these kind of, one has to know that the dissatisfaction that arises because of the pride. See, proud people are dissatisfied. Humility wala fellow will say that, oh, I am fallen, but he will never be dissatisfied. The proud fellow will say all is fine, but he is dissatisfied. The- So, and because they are dissatisfied pride people, they blame. They put a blame game because they want to find out no some person to whom they can blame and they can maintain their pride. So this mental blame game finds one or more of the following, of one or more targets. One of the targets of his blame game is Krishna himself. He is not compassionate enough or is not helpful enough. Why I should? Or Bhakti, the process doesn't works or is not strong enough. My anarthas are not going down. Probably the process is not so yet. They will never, if a humble person, he will ask, my anarthas are not going away, how I can do better bhakti. The proud fellow, he will say, he will say, my anarthas are not going. Probably the process doesn't work. No. Third, no, he may blame, the pride people even can, because when they go in a blame zone, even they can blame themselves, ourselves. No, I am too fallen. I'll never make spiritual advance. Basically, they want to make an excuse and run away. So this blame game never helps people. So they can blame Krishna, they can blame Bhaktas, Bhakti, and even themselves also. But that never happens with a person who is humble. Because he knows to beg and wait. So this, so, because the fact is, Krishna is super eager for us to return back to him. And bhakti is supremely potent process to award us spiritual advancement. And we are never so fallen, no, that we can't be reformed spiritually. That we are not irreformable. But people who have tried actually they when they think that demand is not getting, so then they start into play. So we presume many times that we may deserve spiritual advancement. So but okay, lalasa अच्छा है. When there's a lalasa of advancement, we beg. And when there is a demand nature, then we are proud. And Krishna says Tata. Nothing to do. Give and take with me. So anyhow, we'll end over here, bro. This is the this actually this shloka very clearly is saying, if you think I am able to behold your cosmic form, he's not saying, so show me your cosmic form. I know I am capable. He's saying if you think, sir, that I can behold, show. Uh, so that's very clear over here. So we end over here. I hope the message is very clear. No questions, right? There's already much time. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.